Hi, everyone. And this is a recording to say thanks to husITa for awarding Streetlives the Best Application Award for 2020. And since 2015, Streetlives has been building inclusive technology with people who are homeless, communities considered vulnerable, and social service providers in New York City. We wanted to introduce our leadership team, and I'm Adam. I'm the founder and outreach director.
Hello, I'm Marco, and I'm co-founder of Streetlives with Adam, and I am the director of product.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm the lead developer, and I've been working with Streetlives for about 2.5 years now.
Hi, I'm Dee. I'm the lead UX designer on the team. I joined the Streetlives about the beginning of 2018.
Hi, I'm Jahas Bishop, and about 3 years ago, I joined Streetlives as a community member and now sit as the director of communities.
So at the time we heard we won the award, America, most of the Western world had slid into COVID pandemic lockdown, and where we sit to varying degrees still. But for us, the award really couldn't have come at a better time because we were looking to launch GoGetta, which is our COVID response platform. And we did launch that May the 19th. And the funds that came with the award immediately went to provide expenses to our data gathering team, which is comprised of 4 young people with lived experience of homelessness. So we wanted to walk you through what we've built, and I'm going to share the screen. Marco, do you want to describe the product as I scroll through it?
Yes. The main goal for GoGetta is to provide good referrals. That means avoiding to send people to the services that will turn them down and connect them with providers that can offer the services they need. We worked with the community to craft this value proposition, and it seems even more relevant considering the hardship brought by the pandemic. Given we are the new folks on the block, we really wanted to make sure our audience could trust the product and immediately grasp what it was for. Hence, we provide a step-by-step guide, some community validation, which is very important in this sector, and also share our collaborators and a bit about ourselves. Given that before the pandemic, the almost entirety of services has been provided in a brick-and-mortar setup, the core experience of the tool is based on an app. Tom, do you want to pick up describing the map?
Yeah, so the map geolocates where you are in New York City to show you service providers that are near you. And it shows, as you can see, different colored pins here, where the blue ones are locations that are still open during COVID, whereas the gray ones are services and providers that have either closed or at least don't offer any physical services during COVID. They may still have some virtual services for some of them. And a lot of the locations that you're seeing here, especially the food providers, are actually coming from the data set gathered by the Hunter College Food Policy Center. They've been working to validate New York City neighborhood food resources during COVID, and we've pulled a lot of information from there. And other than food providers, you can see that we have 3 other main categories, where one is clothing, we have personal care, and shelter. And very soon we'll be increasing the number of categories that you can select through this, but also you can already search for other categories through the search bar here at the top that you can use to either look for different kinds of services or keywords or names of providers that you may know, etc. You can also recenter the map on your location if you've been dragging or zooming the map around to see different places and want to come back to what's available in your area.
Every category has filters that help you narrow down your search, and this is also where you can filter based on whether a service is open now or not. Food filters show you soup kitchen and food pantry selection, as well as a checkbox for nutrition for people living with HIV. Clothing filters offer a choice of the kind of clothing and whether you need a referral letter or if you have to be a client of the organization. In a little while, we'll be adding a referral flow to cover the clothing needs for you and your family, taking more personalized criteria into consideration.
Various organizations require you to do intake or become a client or member before you can access other services. We have a warning icon that tells you about this and other membership or eligibility criteria. The other categories are personal care services, and we can filter for those services such as showers, places offering toiletries, or sanitary products. And finally, shelter, which has a limited range of options, which will soon be extended, but is appropriate for the position we find ourselves in during the pandemic, with many overnight services still suspended.
You can see that we share the last time data was verified, and this was especially important to establish that information was likely trustworthy or not, given the number of changes to information that's currently taking place. All the data shown on GoGetta is gathered in our Street Team tool, which is used by our data gathering team to make live changes, publishing them the moment they're created.
The Street Team tool is an internal-facing product that we use to collect and validate data from service providers. It feeds our dataset of many hundreds of locations and thousands of services from different sources, which we can select by either typing them in by name or clicking info. It was built to be used on-site at providers, but the pandemic means we now do the validation remotely with calls, mailing lists, and checking websites updates. We always call when service messages are unclear or look outdated.
The data management is ran by our team of young people of lived experience of homelessness. They have full autonomy to make changes and publish them to the map. You can see that we are asked to publish information about the pandemic. And the most basic and relevant question is whether a place is open or closed. If it's closed, we can leave a message about the closure. If it's open, then we step into the full information available on the location and its services.
The data objects in our schema were co-designed with the community so that they were relevant to the needs of people looking for services here in New York.
So the first set of data is about the location. A location is a physical space that houses one or more services. It's run by an organization, and it may have a location. It will always have a physical address and an organization name, and the rest of the information is largely optional. As you can see, that includes phone numbers, a website, etc. And the little traffic light indicators basically show when the data was last updated on a field-by-field basis, allowing whoever's entering the data to see what's in more urgent need of updating, what's more recent. And so if we step in and validate any piece of information, you can see that the traffic light has turned green, and it now says a few seconds.
Next are the services available. These are grouped by category, or programs, you may call them, and we can create our own services here if the predefined services are not sufficient. We like to create the service name exactly as the organization describes it. So if people want to call to check that service out, it simplifies the conversation.
After we have created our services, we can click into a service recap to see the state of completion of any of them. The next thing we create is service details, which is quite deep, and the extent of it depends on the type of service you're validating. To ensure our users know the exact availability of the service, every service needs to have hours filled. If it doesn't have hours, the location won't show on GoGetta, the public-facing map. If a service is unavailable, it will be marked as closed, which will show on GoGetta as suspended.
You can see when we verify a piece of information at the service level. When we go looking for that service on GoGetta, it now shows you that the service was validated a few seconds ago.
So that's how GoGetta works, and it's where the husITa award is having an immediate impact, helping New Yorkers find what they need. We'll be adding the other core Streetlives feature, which is a feedback loop, so people can find, rate, and recommend services across the city and drive equity in the system through the creation of data by the service users themselves. Thanks so much for awarding Streetlives the husITa Best Application Award for 2020.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.